Welcome back, guys. Hope you've been having a great weekend. And thank you all who tagged me to this screenshot yesterday. And I was actually making a video on this yesterday, but not gonna lie, bros. I was hit with some serious CNS fatigue. I guess I overtrained on Thursday. Combination of like all my powerlifting and Muay Thai, and like we got a guy who's got a fight in 3 weeks. And so I was doing a bunch of pad work with him, helping him get ready. And then yeah, Friday, the next day hits and I'm just like, bro, completely wiped out. Felt like my brain was all messed up, and I'm like recording my video and it just was not going well. I'm like messing up my words, just like tired as heck. So yeah, I took yesterday as a recovery day. I think I'm better today, but geez, maybe not when I'm mixing up today and yesterday and all that, but whatever. Okay, moving on to the news. So yeah, I was tagged to this Pixive fanbox message on the same note that we've been talking about lately regarding censorship and collective shout, payment processors, and all that. You may recall in my previous coverage, I've mentioned multiple times how various sites in Japan were also hit with payment processors trying to censor them. For example, that otaku dating site I like to reference, and Pixive was also one of them. And so this situation is actually very interesting because this screenshot apparently is from last month in June, as this kind of flew under the radar, it looks like. People are now talking about it. And I had mentioned before that there was other issues that Pixive was having regarding payment processors. For example, on March 21st, 2024, last year, they posted this notice saying new restrictions on PayPal payments to creators of R18 content for new users. Going on to say, due to various circumstances, as of Thursday, March 21st, 2024 at 1800 Japan time, PayPal payments will no longer be available to support creators posting R18 content on Pixive Fanbox. Then going on to list some further details about affected users, but we'll skip that part. So now to the more recent situation from last month. Once again, this screenshot will go right to the source on pixive.com, and there's also some additional information there, so let's take a look. On the official notice, we can see the screenshot is of this specific paragraph, but let's get all the context starting at the top. The official notice reading, upcoming service fee revision for R18 creators on Fanbox, effective September 1st, 2025. They say, thank you for using Fanbox. Starting Monday, September 1st, 2025, the service fee for creators who have enabled posting R18 content will be revised from the current 10% to 12.9%. There will be no change for creators who are set to post only all ages content. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation to help keep the service stable and running smoothly. Read on to learn more. And yeah, it takes us to section reasons for the revision, where they say since its launch, Fanbox has aimed to provide a safe and supportive platform for creators of all genres. And then the section of the screenshot reading, however, due to changing social conditions, especially increasing requests from credit card companies and payment providers, the cost of reviewing R18 content has continued to rise. As a result, it has become difficult to maintain our current fee structure while continuing to offer the same level of service. To ensure we keep providing secure, flexible payment options and a safe platform for everyone, we're adjusting the service fee for creators who post R18 content. We apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your understanding. So how absurd is this? You got these payment processors, these mega wealthy corpos, making life harder for artists who already struggle to get by, and now they got to deal with higher fees that they got to deal with on Pixive because of these so-called changing social conditions. Yeah, right. Like we've never heard that before from corpos that try to gaslight individuals. Oh, we're just doing the morally right thing. That's why we got to censor you and take your private info and store it, and it goes on and on. I'm also kind of referencing what's going on in the UK right now, as that's going to be the next part of the video, because this is another screenshot that was making the rounds yesterday regarding the website R34, Rule 34, and recent regulations going on in the UK. You can see they say access restricted, Gooner TLDR, site blocked in the UK to comply with regulations. Your government is dumb. We're looking into solutions. Come to our Discord and cry about it. There's a petition here if you want to vote against it. Text you don't want to read. We regret to inform you that UK Ofcom require us to verify your age before granting access to our cartoon website. While we are deeply committed to safety and compliance, mandating ID verification for every visit to a platform hosting fictional animated content is not only impractical, but also fundamentally, and that part gets cut off. So I went over to their website for news purposes to see if I could find the full statement, and it's not actually showing. Probably because I'm not from the UK, and I guess I could like activate a VPN and put UK in there and see if it pops up, but like I'm kind of too lazy for that today, even though that would only take a handful of minutes or like a minute. But Yeah, I'm sure you guys understand. And if you don't understand, you're welcome to throw tomatoes, make fun of me for it, criticize me for it, whatever. Public humiliation, bring it on. That's a joke, by the way. Don't really do that. It's like a, joke. We're talking about R34. It's a joke. Okay, anyways, moving on from that. And you know what? Look at this. It's the full statement. And no, I'm not going to take credit. Someone else in the comments posted it, so shouts out to that person. But we left off on where they say it's not only impractical, but also fundamentally misguided. The high financial cost of implementing age verification per user is prohibitively high, rendering it impossible for us to sustain operations under these mandates. Requiring age verification for fictional cartoon content is an overreach that fails to recognize the distinction between real-world adult material and artistic animated works. These laws unfairly burden platforms like ours, which focus on creative, non-realistic content that poses no direct harm. They divert resources from enhancing user safety to complying with impractical regulations, driving traffic to less regulated sites with weaker safety measures. Furthermore, these mandates jeopardize user privacy by requiring sensitive personal information, which could deter users from accessing legal creative content while doing little to address actual risks. The safety of our community remains our top priority, and we believe a more effective solution is a device-based identification that respects user privacy while allowing access to age-restricted content. We sincerely hope these overly broad laws are overturned soon, restoring access to our platform for all fans of animated art. Until a excuse me, let me scroll this up a little bit. Is that good? No, one more? Okay. Wait, what the frick? It's so far? Oh my gosh. There we go. Until a sensible privacy respecting solution is implemented, we have made the difficult decision to disable access to our website in regions with these requirements. Oh, so even if I used a VPN before, I might have not seen this. It might have just been the whole website down or something. Please contact your local representatives to advocate for device-based verification solutions and the repeal of these impractical laws, ensuring a safer internet while preserving access to creative content. So what exactly would device-based verification mean in the context of UK wanting age verification? Because that sounds like it could still be troubling, doesn't it? Like, I get how it would obviously make certain websites like R34, it would make their job easier because they wouldn't have to verify anything on their end. But device-based verification specifically for age and all that still seems like it's implying that you have to give some organization or government agency your personal information for them to verify the whole device and link it to you. It still seems like it could lead to government overreach, in my opinion, based on my understanding of this, which admittedly is very limited, and I might have the wrong idea here. And check out how shady this all is, though. Back in 2020, 4 companies that were developing age verification for adult sites actually tried suing the UK government. This article says from BBC, which is not a great outlet, but let's see what they say. The plans would have forced adult websites to verify users' ages or face being blocked in the UK. Culture Security Baroness Morgan scrapped the scheme in October 2019 amid a wave of privacy concerns. Age Checked, Verimi, AV Yourself, and AV Secure are seeking over €3 million in damages from the government. Bro, even the names of these companies sound really freaking scammy and shady. They have lodged a judicial review with the High Court to review the lawfulness of the decision to axe the scheme. Safety section. The so-called porn block had been pitched as a way to stop children stumbling across R34 content on the internet. Websites would be required to age verify visitors. However, how they would do this was not explicitly explained in the proposal. At the time, children's charity, the NSPCC, welcomed the proposal. It said, exposure to adult content can be damaging to young people's views about sex, body image, and healthy relationships, quote unquote. However, critics warn that many under 18s would have found it relatively easy to bypass the restrictions or seek out adult content on platforms not covered by the plan, such as Reddit or Twitter. There were also privacy concerns amid suggestions that websites might ask users to provide ID such as passports or driving licenses, which could be exposed in a data breach. Speaking of which, that just happened literally yesterday or today regarding a app that many women were using, and they had to submit their personal information to it to get verified on the app, and apparently their information all just got leaked or something like that. I'm going to probably be covering that after this, so I'm not going to go into detail about that here. But yeah, similar sort of concept. But yeah, look how ridiculous this is. So we talk about these privacy concerns and potential data breaches and stuff, right? With all this information that's getting harvested. And chief executive and founder of Age Checked Alistair Graham claimed that those concerns were unfounded. That they're unfounded, really, really, bro. This stuff is so disgusting. They try to use like children as a talking point for what they really want, which is just money and power. Oh, we just need to verify this stuff to protect kids. So we want all these companies to pay us to use our services to verify your data, and then we'll harvest your information and probably sell it off somewhere. It all gets even shadier though, because these age verification companies age checked VeriMe, AV Yourself, AV Secure, then sought 3 million euros in damages from the UK government as mentioned, but I can't find any update on that lawsuit or what actually happened. And now fast forward a handful of years later, and the UK is pursuing similar endeavors, but through a different company, that being Yoti, that the government seems to be fine with working with them for this sort of thing. And it all seems really corrupt, doesn't it? Maybe there was some lobbying involved or something, and some of these companies didn't have the right politicians in their pocket, so they got shut down. And then years later, UK's like, oh, but Yoti, though, we'll work with them on a similar thing. And we totally are just doing this to protect kids. There's nothing shady going on at all, right? And that takes us to July 25th, just yesterday on Wire.com. They made this article that says today, which was yesterday, but yeah. Millions of adults trying to access R34 in the UK will be required to prove they are over the age of 18 under sweeping new online child safety laws coming into force. Self-reporting checkboxes that allow anyone to claim adulthood on R34 sites will be replaced by age estimating face scans. So they want minors to submit face scans for their own safety. Yeah, it sounds pretty weird. Like I said, shady and all that. So we left off here. They said replaced by age estimating face scans, ID document uploads, credit card checks, and more. Some of the biggest adult sites, including The Hub, etc., have said they will comply with the new rules. And social media sites like Blue Sky, Reddit, Discord, Grindr, and X are introducing UK age checks to block children from seeing harmful content. Ultimately, though, it's not just Brits who will see such changes. Around the world, a new wave of child protection laws are forcing a profound shift that could normalize rigorous age checks broadly across the web. Some of the measures are designed to specifically block minors from accessing adult material, while others are meant to stop children from using social media platforms or accessing harmful content. Protecting children online is a consequential and urgent issue, but privacy and human rights advocates have long warned that while they may be well-intentioned, age checks introduce a range of speech and surveillance issues that could ultimately snowball online. Over on the subreddit for Blue Sky, we can see a top post from just 16 hours ago reading, "This app has picked the worst third-party age verification company." Screenshot showing, "Take a scan of your face to verify that you're an adult. Yoti will scan your facial features and estimate your age. Click verify that I'm an adult to start." The user going on to say, so in the UK, they've chosen Yoti as a provider for age verification, which only offers 2 options to verify your age. Take a face scan or input a credit card. I thought the face scan would be pretty straightforward, but to my surprise, it failed to identify me as an adult. I'm 26. So I tried inputting my credit card, and even that failed, which means I literally have no other way of verifying my age. But Yoti now has your face and credit card info. I doubt they're getting rid of that. It's a ridiculous situation, to be honest. I mean, why pick a provider that doesn't even offer the ability to upload an ID? Won't be using the platform until they sort this out. Look at this crazy top comment. Saw Yoti advertising their services on the telly yesterday too, where they showed a guy getting outright doxxed for trying to view adult content. Not really helping our privacy worries. To end on a positive note though, the petition that we discussed the other day is now at over 118,000 signatures on change.org titled "Tell MasterCard, Visa, and activist groups, stop controlling what we can watch, read, or play." So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this stuff in the comments. I think it's a real shame what's become of the internet. There's so much centralization of power now and so many power-hungry people that take these positions and abuse their power. You see this on all levels, from example, government overreach to corpos abusing their power, and even on like Reddit, for example, where a number of the top subreddits are all moderated by the same like handful of Reddit mods in this power-hungry, corrupt clique that they got going on. Things, in my opinion, were better when they were less centralized in that sense, when you had to go to like niche forums to engage with activities you wanted to engage in. Because even if you had like a single corrupt mod on like a random forum, it's just like one random forum. There's plenty out there. But now with all these subreddits that are all like intrinsically linked and all these mods moderating the same things and having all this power together, corrupt people get in these positions and they all work together to spread specific agendas against the rest of us. And yeah, it's disturbing to think about. But at least good people are pushing back against this stuff. So thank you all so much for what you do, and thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my coverage. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage. And yeah, I'll see you in the comments here. And in the next one, have a great rest of your weekend.